Most of you, not all of you know Henry Rosenthal. I could talk about Henry for a long time, but I just would say that he's got an incredible resume. So he's going to do what we used to call an object lesson. He can explain that. I believe he's also going to be sharing at the monument. And if you don't know him as Henry, maybe you know him as Bastille, the master mentalist. So anyway, and I've heard you do that, and it's amazing. So it's something that we wanted to do, but the pastor continues to forget when the time comes. So come up and share it with us this morning, Henry. I don't know if you take this microphone.
Well, good afternoon, everybody. I hope the line wasn't too long. I hadn't waited outside today. Anyway, in recognition of those that gave their lives for this country, in recognition of those that are in attendance today, of veterans, I would like to present something to you. During the conquest of the North African campaign, there was a group of soldiers. They were on a long hike when they got to a little town called Bizerti. The next day being Sunday, some of the boys went to church. A sergeant commanded the appearance in church, and after the presence of the pastor and the were read and the text, some of the soldiers took out prayer books. But this one soldier only had a deck of cards, and he took those out. The sergeant said, "Put away those cards," and after the service was over, he was taken prisoner, brought before the provost marshal. The marshal said, "Why did you bring this man here?" "For playing cards in church, sir." "And what do you have to say for yourself, son?" "Much," replied the soldier. He says, "I hope so, because if not, I will punish you more than anybody's ever been punished before." The soldier said, "I've been on a long hike for 6 days and 7 nights. I had neither a Bible nor a prayer book, but I hope to satisfy you with the purity of my convictions." And he began his story. He says, "You see, when I look at the ace in my pack of cards, I know there is but one God. And when I see the deuce, I know the Bible is divided into 2 parts, the Old and the New Testament. And when I see the 3, it brings back to mind the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. And the 4, I recall the 4 great evangelists who preached the gospel: Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John. And when I see the 5, it brings back to mind of the wise that would trim the lamps, the wise virgins. There were 10. 5 were saved. However, 5 were foolish, and they were cast out. And when I see the 6, it brings on my memory of the 6 days that God took to create this great heaven and earth, and 7 on the 7th day, he rested and called it holy. And then when I see the 8, it brings back to mind when God destroyed this great heaven and earth, and he saved 8 individuals. They were Noah, his wife, their 3 sons, and their wives. And when I see the 9, it brings back the lepers that God cleansed, and 9 out of 10 didn't even thank him. And of course, when I see the 10, it takes me back to the 10 commandments that God passed down to Moses on the tablets of stone. And when I see the King, this King Almighty, there's only one King in heaven, and the Queen, the Blessed Virgin Mary, the Queen of Heaven. And the jackarnave is the devil. And when I count all the spots on my pack of cards, there are 365, the number of days in a year. There are 12 picture cards, the number of months in a year. There are 4 suits, the number of weeks in a month. So you see, sir, my pack of cards serves me not only as a Bible, an almanac, but also a prayer book. Now, my friends, I know this story is true because I knew that soldier. Thank you.